Good evening. I'm going to take you to any division, any time, any day. A nurse walks into the supply room to get 3 items. CHG bathing soap, knows where the bottles are located. An 8 Shiley trach inner cannula and a tracheostomy tube holder. Knows they're in a green bin, but not sure which one. Walks to the blue bin to get the CHG soap, but the bin is empty. Oh no, I'll have to use regular soap. I guess I'll have to ask the secretary to get some, or maybe the charge nurse can get me some. I know it's not best to use regular soap, but I need to get my patient's bath started. Now I need to find those trach inner cannulas in the trach tube holder. Goes to the green bins. Oh gosh, we have so many trach tubes. And where's the trach tube holder? So what happens next? The nurse spends 3 minutes looking for the important supplies for that patient's breathing. Find the trach inner cannula and the trach tube holder. She eventually finds the trach tube holder and the inner cannulas, but because it took so long, forgets to tell somebody that there's no CHG soap. So what happens next? Well, research tells us that regular soap is not as good of antibacterial to reduce the patient's bacteria on the skin, so all the patients now are at risk for hospital-acquired infections. So what happens next is that this is what we see every day. Every supply room throughout all of the hospitals look different. They all have the color-coded bins, but they all have different supplies and a different configuration. So a lot of time is spent retrieving supplies. We know from a time motion study that up to 30 minutes every 12 hours is spent by each nurse finding supplies. Now imagine you're a new nurse, or you're a nurse floating to another division, or you're the clinician who goes from division to division, and then imagine you're searching for an item you use less frequently. So our big idea, voice user interface, connecting clinicians with supply inventory management via Alexa. No longer searching for items, but being directed to the items. So now what you'll hear in the supply room is, Alexa, 17300 is out of CHG bathing solution. Where's the next closest division with CHG bottles? The next closest division with CHG bathing solution is on 17400. Clinician thinks, oh, that's right next door. I can go get that. Then for the trach supplies, Alexa, 17300, where are the 8 Shiley tracheostomy inner cannulas? The 8 Shiley tracheostomy inner cannulas are located in green bin number 10. Alexa, where's the tracheostomy tube holder? The tracheostomy tube holders are in green bin number 13. The nurse walks directly to those 2 bins. Our big idea will streamline supply retrieval. It will reduce time in supply rooms, allow more time with the patients, will increase clinician satisfaction. We're also going to identify expired items, which can reduce the harm to patients as well as organizational risk. With big idea funding, our clinicians, informaticists, supply chain, and IT will inspect and prepare the data structure, gather natural dialogues to train Alexa, and pilot it in 2 supply rooms. Thank you.
So where is this data coming from? In other words, how does Alexa know that this is where it is, and how is it constantly updated enough that when I ask Alexa, it knows immediately what's out and what's not up?
Yeah, so we have talked to the inventory team already, and then also the IT team. They actually gave us like the pilot 2 units that we plan to test the studies, and then they were able to provide where the what's the supply name, what's the ID number, what's the bin number, and then the color of the bin. So using that data sheet, that we can build an API that can directly let the Alexa to read that databases to find information.
Okay, so one follow-up there. If that's saving time for the nurses, how much added time is it to update that data? In other words, is it just shifting time around, or is it really a net savings
That's
time?
a great question. When we talked to the supply chain individuals, that was the question. Because it will be automatic from PeopleSoft through Business Developer, as it changes, it should automatically change. We may need to work to update it every day, but it shouldn't take much because it should be an automatic feed. When we talk to Amazon about it, they have a good connection between their Business Developer and PeopleSoft.
Are these? Go ahead. I was just going to ask, does Alexa know these words, or?
That's part of we will train.
Okay, so these might not be traditional household names and words, so I wasn't sure how you were planning to.
We'll work with the different synonyms. We'll get with clinicians and have them record things and train it, yeah, that's all possible.
Yeah, we plan to survey them. We'll probably give them some rewards if they can speak to their phone and then record their voices so that we can capture some of the accents issues as well. And then we will try to see, what were the most supplies or they are getting every day, and including the synonyms that they will speak to Alexa.
So I understand knowing where the items are supposed to be, but I'm still unclear how you have current inventory. Like how you know that there's still CHG and 10400.
Right. What we're going to explore is, can we feed back to Alexa to feed back to the system? Right now, it may just tell us, in our first proof of concept, it may just tell us where it's supposed to be, and if it's not there, where the next closest division is. But it may not track when we use it to update it. But the supply inventory folks come to most of the divisions every day except on Sunday to update it, so then it gets updated.
And another strategy we probably use is that if we know it's out, then we will keep a record in our test databases, and then it's possible that the inventory team will be able to see in our tested database to see what should be refilled for the supplies.
So why Alexa or Amazon versus other voice interfaces in the market?
That was the one that I was familiar with, and because they have that business developer to allow different organizations to work with it, that was why we went there.
So you've been in communication with Amazon on this?
Yes.
Yeah, we just have a phone call with Amazon this morning and to ask them about the possibility of doing this kind of private scale, because this is Amazon for business, and then we can make it be a private scale for our organization only. And they have deployed it to other universities, a slew for students to use it as well. So we think that it might be feasible for us to do in our hospital to have the supplies inventory information.
Do you have an estimate for the number of Alexas that you'd have to deploy in an average hospital and what the cost of that might look like?
So in terms of the exact number, I don't, but we have 50-something divisions just at BJH, and they have a pricing for educational that's $1.50 per month per device. Yes. And then they, for example, they would have a bundled pricing for spot purchasing them as well. What we have to look at is the different options that they have. So they were going to send us that information.
Yeah, and then they have option Alexa. There is a different Alexa that has a monitor on it as well, which means that if some of the new nurses, they probably don't know the exact name of it, if they can describe it, maybe the Alexa will pick up some of the picture and ask them if this is the one that you're looking for. So that's another possible route as well in the future.
All right, any other questions? Thanks very much.